Hello and welcome to another episode of the Golden Domer Homer podcast. I'm your host, Robbie D. Neighbor, here again with the Cub, Kenny Ball. How you doing, Kenny?
I'm
And the
doing all right.
prognosticator, Tyler D.
Start through pine.
Yep. I think that's about where we're all at right now. A little bit more of a somber podcast than the last few have been with the Irish suffering their first loss. Kenny, you want to get us started?
Oh God, this is a tough day. You go right down the field on the first drive as they've done all year, and you throw a pick. Coach just got to be smarter with the ball. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. You just throw it up in the air against a team that's got two of the best DBs in the country. Which, by the way, Kevin Austin couldn't get away from Sauce Gardner all day. It was just ugly all around. I honestly I wasn't terribly mad. I don't know if you could tell on TV. I didn't think I wasn't mad about the UC turnout as opposed to Notre Dame like the Georgia game, but it looked like a lot of red. But I think in comparison, it really wasn't. I don't know. Just got to be better on the offensive line. Got to be able to run the ball, and Notre Dame can't right now.
Tidy.
Yeah, kind of to echo. I mean, it's really hard to win when you turn the ball over 3 times in the first 17 minutes of the game, especially when you're a home dog in a top 10 matchup. I think you can't run the ball, so you need a mobile quarterback, and so you need to. I don't care if it's Pine or Buckner or Uncle Rico. Cone. I don't think is the answer. I think he looked like a stud week one against a team that is abysmal in Florida State, and he really hasn't looked great since. I'm all on the Pine train. I agree with Kenny. I think UC had a good showing, not the biggest by any means. Obviously, we saw Georgia had half the stadium. I think I remember when Louisville came in 2014, they had probably a bigger group there, and I think even Utah way back in 2010. Those were 2 games I was at, so those are burned into my brain of a lot of visiting fans. Nonetheless, a good turnout by the Bearcat fans. I mean, you're 4 hours away, and it's your first time playing there in 100 years. But
Hold on. You should be 4 hours away, but the Indiana Department of Transportation doesn't know how to operate. So
yeah,
took you
time and a
about
half.
to get there from South Bend this week.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, sucks to lose. Sucks the streak's over. Watch film. Go beat Virginia Tech. Take a week off, and the season's not over. So that's my take.
Yeah. I mean, defensively, I really don't have much to say. I thought they played pretty outstanding other than 2 drives. They held them to a field goal after that Chris Tyree fumble that easily could have been a 14-0 game instead of a 10-0 game. Offensively, Cone was missing a couple open receivers. Avery got open between some linebackers one time on a pretty easy pass. Cone let the pressure kind of get in his head and sailed it. The Buckner package is getting a little predictable at this point. If we're going to bring him in, got to do something different. He's at 27 rush plays on 35 plays run. Stack the box when he's in if he's not going to throw the ball anywhere. And then that cone interception, you just can't do that. That's why he's here. He's a experienced player that's not supposed to do that. That's why we're not playing Pine, apparently, is because of what Cone brings. As far as bright spots, though, Braden Lindsey's catch was real nice. He went up and fought for one and took it away from Cubby Bryant. That was pretty. I thought Pine was great. I thought Kyron played his butt off. And as always, Michael Mayer was the best player on the field. I mean, even with an injured, what was it? I think they came out and said it was an adductor in his hip that had him limping, but he managed to get open on that last drive still and was a warrior. So those are my bright spots.
I think him being a Northern Kentucky guy too, he did not want to lose to UC, so he was going to play as much as he could.
Yeah. And I mean, even on that last drive when he was limping, I was kind of even calling for him to get him out of there. Don't let him hurt himself worse. But
yeah,
easier said than done, I guess.
I just think, not to be a Debbie Downer, but I just look at this game and, they beat us and it is, we lost. But this wasn't a year that you really thought Notre Dame was going to go win the national title. I think it's a fight for third at this point. I think it's Bama and Georgia and then a big gap and then the rest of the country. So it's like Ty said, the season's not over. Get some momentum headed into next year. Get these other quarterbacks some reps, and let's go win some football games.
And on that note, I'm ready to see Rocco Spindler get a little reps at guard because Kane Madden's not going to play next year, and I think that experiment has pretty much run its course. So if you want to rotate him in or whatever, I'm ready to see more of Kristofich, Alt, and Spindler for the rest of the year.
I'm pretty sure I saw Carmody in there the other day on the first couple drives, and he got blasted.
Yeah, Carmody looked bad, and I'm not sure that his ankle is back. He's still – I mean, it was only 2 weeks ago. He had a pretty bad ankle injury where he couldn't even walk on it.
Yeah, it's getting frustrating with the left tackle, and then we're not making any – doesn't appear that they're making any changes because, like you said, Cone obviously can't move, and we're just leaving him back there to get sacked. I mean, it literally every time it feels like he drops back, and then he just tucks down like this and gets hit.
He's letting that pressure get in his head and seeing ghosts even when they're not there. Because they are there a lot, but when they're not there, he's still, like you said, clutching, ducking down, sprinting out for no reason. But on another bright note, the last few drives there, they did have Kristofich in a right guard for Kane Madden and Joe Alt at left tackle, and the protection did hold up a little bit.
I mean, I will agree with that. I mean, Pine had some time to throw. He did miss some open receivers, and then Kevin Austin missing that ball that hit him right in the hands.
But back to Robbie's point, he had 10 seconds to throw that ball, and Austin finally got open, and then he dropped it. But that was kind of good to see. We finally had a pocket back there to stand in, and we weren't running around for our lives in the back,
right
behind the line of scrimmage there. So
yeah, that last drive, those last couple drives actually gave me a little bit of hope from Pine. I mean, yeah, there were some bad throws, some young guy mistakes where he was rocketing the ball a little too fast or throwing at the feet or sailing it a bit, but he was making good reads and getting it out quick. That's the other big thing. He gets it out much quicker than Code, it seems.
Yep.
On time.
Yeah. All right, well, let's put a bow on that. UC's over, 4-1. Looking at opponents, Florida State finally won a game. They beat Syracuse. They're now 1-4. Toledo got their third win of the season. Stanford, huge upset win against the Oregon Ducks. USC, they moved to 3-2 with a win over Colorado. Cincinnati's obviously 4-0 now after beating us. UVA wins on Thursday night at Miami to go 3-2. Navy gets their first win of the season against a team that I've forgotten and did not write down. Oh, UCF, the Gus Bus. Lost to Navy. And then 4 teams took a loss. Wisconsin got crushed by Michigan. North Carolina lost. That's not right. North Carolina beat Duke. All right, North Carolina won too. Sorry.
But hey,
quick on the notes.
No worries.
I know we haven't gone all the way through, but Virginia Tech had a bye week, of course.
Yes, naturally, Virginia Tech did have a bye week. Georgia Tech lost to forget already. And Purdue lost to Minnesota, which I believe was my lock of the week, which just makes sense.
And
well,
we're now going 5.
In other news, Wisconsin played jump around and gave up like 15 or 20 straight points and had 2 or 3 more turnovers again. So
the jump around is not great luck for them, or they're just terrible in the fourth quarter.
It might be time for them to can that one for the year.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as strength of schedule, not much changes. A lot of teams won. Compared to lost, there's only 3 teams that lost, so that's good news. Any thoughts, KB?
It's been a weird year. I mean, look at Stanford. They lose the first game of the year, and now a little bit of a resurgence. I know they're 3-2, but it looks like maybe David Shaw has them coming back. I don't know. I don't know that the Pac-12 is very good, but you go beat Oregon, who's in the top 10, and beat Ohio State. So that's a big one. Like you said, Cincinnati 4-0. Not much changes here, and I don't know if there's a ton to worry about at this point. Just if you're Notre Dame, just keep winning, try to make a New Year's Six bowl and go beat it. I saw one of the predictions for the bowl game this past week were the Cheez-It Bowl, and it's not in Arizona anymore. I don't know where that is, but versus Baylor or Iowa State. So
there's no way we're playing Iowa State. They're terrible. What's their record right now?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I saw. I'd like to see a little Notre How about a little Notre Dame Kentucky bowl game?
I was just about to say that. Citrus. What is the Citrus Bowl? No, that's not a New Year's Six. That's played on New Year's, but it's not.
Well,
one of the New Year's
but
Six.
that's the other thing is Kentucky might make a New Year's Six bowl now because Georgia's going to go
Yep.
to the playoff.
No, they
Alabama's going to go to the playoff.
they're looking like they'll be the second place team in the East.
They're probably going to be the second place team in the East, and then it's them or probably Ole Miss.
What bowl game would that be if we were to see them? Because I wouldn't mind that.
Well, it could be the Sugar Bowl.
That'd be I just didn't know which ones were part of like the playoff this year and which ones were.
It could be the Sugar Bowl. Let me see if I can find it here. Let's keep going. I'll look that up, see if I can pull it up here. But I kind of thought about that now selfishly because I'm from Kentucky and of course it probably wouldn't go my way, just like the Cincinnati game did. But I think that'd be a fun game to go to, a good matchup.
Yeah, their defense is actually pretty solid. I think Kentucky's actually pretty decent this year. I mean, your under bet's looking rough
for Kentucky. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Looks like they've been updated. Well, one of them. Oh my.
Is it worse than the Cheez-It Bowl?
Oh wait, never mind. That's from September 19th. I'm sorry. No, it's not. But that I was looking at the wrong thing. It said Clemson. And it's a New Year's Six bowl. Clemson ain't making a New Year's Six bowl.
Clemson is. They can't score
points.
Points.
Unranked for the first time since 2014.
How about that? All right, here we go.
Might I predict some transfers?
One of the guys does not have Cincinnati in the playoff, but he's got Penn State, Georgia, Bama, Iowa. Penn State plays Iowa this week. Something's got to give there.
Yeah.
Big Ten's not getting two. They're not going two conferences for the playoff.
No, but no one's talking about Michigan right now. And if they keep winning, man.
Yeah.
They're going to be.
Harbaugh loves them years where he starts off unranked. He likes no expectations.
Absolutely. There's a Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl this year, by the way.
I actually saw that and laughed at it. So
let's move on a little bit to around college football. Really, the only couple things I had was Iowa might be legit.
They are legit. They made me look stupid in a bet this week. So
a hilarious stat was from that game. There were only what was it? It was like Talia Tagovailoa there were only like 6 or 7 quarterbacks who had less interceptions than him. Had less interceptions than him going into the game Friday. By the end of the game Friday, there were only 6 or 7 quarterbacks that had more interceptions than he did. He threw 5 in the game on Friday.
Graham Mertz was going to catch him, I'd assume, in that game if he didn't get hurt.
My other things were just Georgia. I don't even know what to say. I mean, they're a team you can't score on the defense.
And that's what – speaking of Clemson being bad, same idea. Their defense just gave up their first offensive touchdown like last week. And they're losing games and unranked.
Yeah.
They might have the second best defense in college football, but that's how bad their offense is.
Yeah,
I mean, go back to week 1. It was a 10-3 final, and the only touchdown was defensive in Clemson versus Georgia.
Oh, and speaking of Georgia, I forgot to mention that. It was their backup quarterback. Stetson Bennett started that game and played it and beat Arkansas like that.
The mailman.
Yep. Crazy. They're a solid football team. I want no part of Georgia this year.
No, not at all. But that's all I had, Ty. I mean, I don't have a ton. I didn't get to watch a lot of games. We were at the Notre Dame game.
Only thing I'd add was the Pac-12 is eliminated now, probably with Oregon losing to Stanford.
You got to think so. Arizona State losing to BYU didn't help either, even though I wouldn't bet on them to make it. But they're 4-1 with that one loss, and if BYU goes undefeated, then I'd assume they're in over the team they beat. So.
Where's Oklahoma sitting? They're undefeated still, right?
Yeah, they're just behind Cincinnati.
I'll tell you, there's still a chance, and if anybody's listening to this that's a UC fan, it's not going to be happy, but there's a chance that they get snubbed out of this.
Oh no, especially because BYU plays more Power 5 opponents this year than UC. One of which is Arizona State, who could win the Pac-12 still. They're 4-1 with one loss to BYU. So
yeah. So I mean, I just it's that could be interesting because if Iowa goes undefeated,
Penn State, one loss,
or Bama, Georgia, and then Oklahoma.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's
They
still,
really
like you said, Michigan State's out there. Michigan State and Michigan are both undefeated in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
really need Oklahoma to lose.
Yep, they are. Which I'm going to be honest, usually happens, and this is one of the weeks that it usually happens.
Very, very one of them weeks where, yep, exactly.
I got them in the picks. So, but I remember 2018. This was a week they lost because that was the year Notre Dame was looking. I just kept watching them, and we were at Virginia Tech that day, and Texas beat them in the Red River. Is it the
Dicker the kicker.
Dicker the kicker. That's right.
Dicker the kicker.
Who's still there, I believe, which is insane.
Speaking of kickers, I don't know if we mentioned that, but how do you miss that extra point, John Doerr?
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah,
Forgot about that. I just totally forgot about that until just now, and it
could be worse. UC's kicker missed 2. They weren't extra points, but he missed 2.
Did you by chance see me call it on Twitter when I said "miss it, you bum"? And he did.
Mm-mm.
I had about a billion tweets that day, but
I was probably
sweating.
going to be texting Ty.
Yeah, I was angrily just not talking or smiling the whole time I was there. Felt like I was at a funeral or at work. All right, moving on. Robbie, a lot of recruits there today. Any updates on the recruiting front?
It sounds like they're basically all I was going to say is a lot of people out there are making a massive deal out of losing with all those recruits there. They don't base it off of one game. They've seen the 10-win seasons we've put together. They've seen everything they've done. I mean, to base it off one game is ridiculous. Manti Te'o committed after 3-9 and a 7-6 seasons.
Yeah.
Michael Floyd watched us get beat real bad, and he still committed the week after. We're okay, and those guys are the type of guys that think they can come here and not let that happen and not blow the streak. And I mean, from everything I heard, they love their visit. And apparently Chad Bowden has been a real heavy component in their visits and going well. So like to hear it.
Absolutely.
I just want to touch on one thing about this week. I don't know. Did you guys see it in Kelly's press conference today where he took the blame for that drop late in the game for Austin?
Yep. Said he should have played Colsey more.
He said he should have played Colsey more because those DBs were wearing him out. And if you watched them, and they were physical, man. They were up on the line every time. They weren't letting you get off the line of scrimmage. They were good. And I thought that was interesting that he took the blame there for that play in particular.
And for everything bad I've said about Kelly, I'll say there's one rumor or one type of thing that was dispelled from him this week, and that's his lack of playing freshman receivers because he got Styles in there and he got Colsey in there quite a bit. Even on that last drive, it was those two in the game down the stretch in the fourth quarter, oddly enough. So that was nice to see.
For sure. All right, you want to talk Hokies?
I don't know much about him, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't either. 7:30 kick this Saturday. It's on the ACC network. Early lines got Notre Dame favored by 1.5. Fourth all-time matchup. Notre Dame leads 2-1. If you recall, Virginia Tech's only win was 2016, which was probably the worst season, one of the worst seasons in Notre Dame history. Last meeting was 2019, a 1-point win with Ian Book scoring a touchdown with about 50 seconds to go.
Chip Long's last game, running the ball down the stretch, looked like he was going to coach Virginia Tech the next week or something.
Yeah, accidentally against his old boss, Justin Fuente, ironically. Virginia Tech's 3-1. They beat North Carolina in week 1, which looked incredible at the time. North Carolina's fizzled out a little bit. Beat Richmond, MTSU, and then they lost close one to West Virginia Mountaineers. Fuente's in his 6th season there. He's 41-27. Kenny, we were in Blacksburg in 2018. What do the Irish need to do to get out of there with a win again?
They're going to have to be able – I say it every week. They're going to have to be able to run the ball. I know it's getting old. I'm probably beating a dead horse, but they got to be able to run the ball, and they got to be able to get the crowd out of it early, which is exactly what they did in 2018 when we were down there. This is not an easy game by any stretch. I don't care if Virginia Tech could be 0-4, and I'd be nervous going into this game. They're just going to have to manage the crowd and try to jump out early, which they've done a pretty good job. I mean, you look at this week, they threw an interception on the first drive, but they marched right down the field. They just got to capitalize on those and jump out early, and then and just try to get the lead. And I think I think Notre Dame's defense is really good. So if they can get ahead early, get a couple stops, go into the locker room up 2 touchdowns or 10 points, I think they'll be just fine.
I agree. And I think with establishing the run, it's time to start getting a little bit more creative with the run game. Can't just line up in 13 personnel and hand it off. I think we need to see some Lindsay type of end arounds or misdirections with somebody, this, that, and the other. But it's time to maybe even start using more screen action and everything else, because they started to this week with the screens, but I'd like to see even a little bit more of it, just because we can't just run the ball straight out of defense. We can't do it anymore.
You know what they haven't used really since they converted him, other than on 1 2-point conversion this year? They never do anything with Avery Davis. I mean, he came in as a quarterback. They never do any, like, reverse pass, double pass, anything like that. I'd like to see a little bit of that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'd love to see an Avery Davis pass, because he was I think it was a top 150 quarterback coming out of high school. So he's got a cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you guys. Got to open up the playbook a little more. The play calling, I thought Saturday was pretty stagnant. Seemed like it was run, incomplete pass, run, incomplete pass, run, sack. It's like we gotta do something else. And I don't know if that's a quick pass. You know, I'm assuming Drew Pine is going to start. I know the depth chart said Cone, but it sounded like in Brian Kelly's press conference today, he was like, it'll be a game time decision, and we know who it is. If it's Jack Cone, then you don't want to win the game with this offensive line. Nothing against Jack Cone, but he's got blocks in his shoes, and if Virginia Tech blitzes, they're not going to score.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, it was just like at halftime this week when Brian Kelly said that they weren't going to make a change, and they just got to protect Jack Cone better. And then that first series, Drew Pine comes out. So it's all smoke and mirrors at different times with him, and you can't take anything he says too literally.
Right.
But what do you think about that? What do you guys think about that over under at 47? Yeah,
Under.
I got to think the same thing.
Yeah,
I don't know that our defense is really going to give up a ton of points. I know Virginia Tech's quarterback from last year left. He went over to Tennessee, and I believe he's starting now. They were about done with Joe Milton down there. And they lost their tight end the week of the West Virginia game, and I don't think their offense has been very good since then. So I would have to say under, because let's be honest, I don't know if Notre Dame can score more than 24 points.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm just looking at these Virginia Tech scores. I mean, they won 17-10 against North Carolina. They put up 21 and lost to West Virginia, and then they only scored 21 on Richmond. So I wouldn't call it an explosive offense. The only time they've scored more than 30 points was against MTSU. So,
yeah, and
4 games, take away one from it, but
Notre Dame's not a very explosive offense either. I mean, look at their game. Their game against Wisconsin. You had 21 points on defense or special teams. I mean,
yep.
Right.
Not like the offense was great.
Defense and special teams outscored the offense. That's 21-20. So
So long story short, I love the under.
Yeah, big time. That's what I was going to say. I think as long as we don't turn the ball over and we protect it and don't give them 2 possessions inside the red zone to start, I like our defense giving up less than 15 points this game.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to hear a bold prediction from you, Robbie, while we're here, and your pick. Let's just knock them both out.
Oh, let me think about this for a second. My bold prediction, Cam Hart has his second 2-interception game of the year.
He almost had one the other day.
He almost had 2. There was one that was thrown high and away, and if it was accurate, he's taking it pick 6. Then he had that one in the end zone that he jumped and almost picked off. Cam Hart's playing his butt off lately.
I'll tell you what, on that one play that they scored the touchdown, Kyle Hamilton looked like a dummy.
Yeah, and it was an unintentionally bad throw.
Yeah, it was.
He did it too.
Yeah.
Like Hamilton was chasing for the corner route, and Desmond Ridder threw a sky ball, and couldn't believe it.
What's your pick?
Notre Dame 24-13
Irish by 11. Big
with
cover.
a late touchdown to pull away. Similar to what Cincinnati did to us today or this weekend. Same score, opposite though.
Tyler?
I'm gonna go bold. I'm gonna take Drew Pine accounting for 3 touchdowns, 2 in the air, 1 on the ground. Hopefully he starts, or that's going to be a really bold prediction. I think he will, though. That's what my gut's telling me. And defensively, I'm calling a shutout. I'm going to say they're going to shut out Virginia Tech. They're going to shut out Virginia Tech. They're going to win 17-0.
17-0. Ty likes way under 47.
Yeah.
30 points under 47.
Not even
way
close.
Under.
I'm
what you got?
going to go Braden Lindsey 2 touchdowns. And J.D. Bertrand 10 tackles.
Bounce back week for JD, huh?
Yeah, I think he comes back this week. That environment's tough. I'll say Irish 24-14.
Similar page to me there. I like that.
Yeah.
If I'm going to go offensive bold prediction, I'm going freshman scores a touchdown this week on offense, whether it be Colsey, Styles, or one of the running backs. A freshman offensive player scores a touchdown.
They could use it. They need a spark somewhere in this offense.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. You know what's funny? Just going back, my bold prediction was Drew Pine accounting for 3 touchdowns, and then I said they would win 17-0. So
yeah, that's counterintuitive there.
that math doesn't work. I'm going to edit that to 21-0, and Drew Pine's going to account for all 3.
Yep, I don't mind it.
So just let's fix that because that's math,
Yeah, that's tough.
And honest question for both you guys too. Watching Drew Pine play football, does it not look a little bit like Ian Book?
Looks just like
it's nuts to me. I was like, daggone, it looks like we got the kid in there replacing Brandon Wimbush again, running around and making plays.
Right. I mean, yeah, kind of the opposite. I mean, you loved Wimbush for his the dead on complete opposite. You love Wimbush for his legs, and his arm was not great. Cone, it's a complete opposite, but you've got the exact same player backing him up coming in that can do both pretty well.
Exactly. I feel that. That's a funny point you make there with the opposite. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so let's hop into picks. You two took baths in the picks last week, both going 2-4. I went 4-2. And now Ty and I are tied for the top spot, 18-12 on the year. Robbie just a game behind, 17-13.
That's actually not a bad record for us. I'd like to compare us to the Bear at some point because
no, that's not too bad. He usually does the point spreads though, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
Year to date, Robbie last week his lock hit Michigan money line. They were the dog in that game, I believe. So he goes to 3-2 with his locks. Ty, we both lost. I went to 2-3, and Ty is now 0-5 with his lock of the week. So he can go ahead and fade his lock for this week, and it's probably a guaranteed win for you. The one thing he can do though is he can pick super dogs. His super dog won outright last week. So he's gone. He got 2 points last week. He's going to 5 on the year. Robbie and I sitting with 2 apiece. Western scored with him, just too little, too late. And Arkansas got shut out. So Robbie's pick was a little bit tough.
I didn't see that going that bad.
So current standings in terms of our picks, not including the points and locks. Ty and I are tied for first, and then Robbie, you're just a game back.
Let's get into this week.
So
let's go to this week. So starting off with what I think is probably the game of the week, big game in the Big Ten. Penn State, 2-point dogs visiting Iowa City. KB, who you like?
Give me the home team. I like the Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
Coming off a big win. I mean, not a big spread win, but not a it was against Maryland. I think Iowa's defense shows up again and they win this game.
Roberto?
Well, I'm going to once again dabble in the picks and mix it with my lock and pick Iowa and lock them in as my lock of the week. So I like Iowa a lot. I think they might be their defense at least very legit. Their offense fundamentally sound.
Yeah, I like Iowa as well. I think Penn State took a big jump in the rankings by beating Wisconsin, who doesn't look very good, by I'm going to say a single score. The Auburn win was nice at home, but I think Iowa defends their turf and definitely covers. I think they probably win by 2 touchdowns, which
I
is
think
bold considering the Big Ten is like the king of 7-3 games.
Yeah, and Penn State, to your point, beat Wisconsin on a Graham Mertz interception in the red zone
Right.
for the win. So, yeah.
So, all right.
Moving
Well,
on.
we love picking Arkansas. They go to Ole Miss. They're 4-point dogs. Robbie, who you like?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and pick Arkansas again. I think this is an ego game for them. I think they are going to take that loss to Georgia very seriously, and their coach was very, very upset on the sideline. I got a feeling they have a bounce back game this week, and I don't know. Ole Miss can score some points, but whatever. I'm going Iowa or Arkansas. I was reading off the name.
I like the Rebels in this one. I'm going to go with Lane Kiffin and Corral, the quarterback. I like the way they play offense, and I think I like the home team in this one. If it was at Arkansas, I'd probably go with them, but I'm going to go with Ole Miss in this one.
Yeah, I don't think Arkansas is going to give a hang of Ole Miss. I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think Ole Miss is going to pull away in the second half. I like Ole Miss at home as well.
Actually, here we go. I'm going to change my mind because I forgot about something here.
Go for it.
If KJ Jefferson plays and he's healthy, I mean, Arkansas's quarterback might be hurt, and I forgot about that. That changes things.
That's
So
good time.
I'm going to flip my pick, go Ole Miss, because even if he plays, he's not healthy.
Right.
He's kind of the key to their offense. So, yeah, give me Ole Miss. I was wrong there. I forgot about that injury. That played a little factor in that. I forgot about that completely.
Yeah. So going from current SEC schools to future SEC schools, Oklahoma versus Texas in Dallas, Red River rivalry. Oklahoma's laying 3.5. I'm going to start off with this one. I like Oklahoma. Texas hasn't proven a ton to me. I think they win and they cover.
I like Oklahoma. I said earlier this is a game that sometimes they lose. I think they're coming out to play in the playoff this year. I think they might finish the year undefeated, and I like them to win this game, and I'm going to lock them in as my lock of the week. Ty, I don't know where you saw the 3.5, but I saw 3 before we started here. So
Okay.
naturally,
Maybe it moved.
I'm going to take the 3.
There you go.
I like Oklahoma. Lock it in to win, and also cover.
I guess this is my chance to try to make that game back. I'm going to hook 'em horns. I got a feeling Texas comes out and plays physical type of thing. Oklahoma is not like this year. Bijan Robinson's going to run it down their throat. Spencer Rattler's going to choke. So I'm going with the Longhorns.
Yeah, I like the pick. If we were rating confidence, my Oklahoma pick would not be high up there, but I don't know.
But it also wouldn't surprise me if I look like an idiot this week and Oklahoma rolls them. So we'll see.
Yeah.
That's Robbie's chance to win a game or lose another game on Ty and I in the picks.
Yeah, I got a feeling. We'll see.
But I know him and I are going to have a different pick here shortly.
Let's go out west here. The Utes, 3.5-point favorites at USC, Robbie.
The way USC has defended the run this year gives me no hope. I think Utah might just pound them all night. Give me the Utes.
Give me the Utes. I'm not picking USC in anything.
Yeah, I mean Utah's 3.5-point favorites. I think they cover that. I mean it's at USC, but
What does that
USC
matter?
fans exactly. USC fans are about as fair weather as they come.
Oregon
They'll
State
probably
just went
be
in. Oregon State just went in and ran for 260 yards on them. So
right. I think there'll be 18,000 people there. I mean, and 12,000 will be Utah fans. So give me the Utes to cover and win, obviously outright. Moving back to the SEC, LSU 3-point dogs at Kentucky. Kentucky coming off the big win at home against Florida. Kenny Ball, you took Kentucky in the under. That bet's not looking great right now.
Still hope. Give me the Tigers.
Taking the Tigers.
I'm doubling down on my under. I'm taking the Tigers.
Wow.
Go Tigers.
I think the Tigers' offense is so bad that in that Kentucky defense, man, they're solid. Wan'Dale Robinson and Will Levis, that might be the most successful transfer portal addition this offseason.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, that kid's a stud, Wan'Dale. Mr. Kentucky football. Have no idea why he went to Nebraska, but give me the Wildcats. I think Kentucky curb stomps them in Lexington.
Yes, I agree. I think Kentucky wins big, and Edo officially goes on the hot seat.
Yeah, his seat's going to be hot if they lose to Kentucky this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think what are they, 2-3?
Mm-hmm.
That UCLA loss looks worse every week because I think they lost again last week. I mean, just lost to Auburn. I think Kentucky is going to beat the crap out of them. That's just my thought, unless they get caught looking behind, which is always possible.
Hey,
But
let's talk about the real game of the week.
the pillow fight.
The 0-11 game.
UConn, 3.5-point favorites at UMass. UConn and UMass. Go ahead, Kenny.
I'm going to go with the Huskies. I don't know a lot about either team. I have heard UMass is really bad, but I've also heard that UConn might be worse. UConn played Vandy close last week. Vandy is also
SBC.
But I am a Barstool guy, and the boys love Jim Calhoun, so I'm going with UConn to win this one.
Tyler D, who you got?
Well, I mean, in a pillow fight that's going to be probably as exciting as listening to golf on the radio, I'm going to take UConn to win.
Yeah.
No rhyme or reason. I mean, it's a.
Ty, would you lay the points?
I would.
You would lay the 3.5.
Time is up for the Minutemen, as they would say.
I will certainly have this game on the television.
Yeah, I have 2 TVs going still, so that will be one of the 2 games on whenever it is on this weekend.
Yeah, and whatever channel it's on, the network is going to have the 480 cameras there, and it's just going to be blurry as all get out.
3:30, and I don't know that it's on TV, fellas.
Dofu Sports app. It's the Dofu Sports app. That's where you watch.
That's what it's on. What the hell is the Dofu Sports app?
You should check it out. I have no idea how it's legal, but you can literally stream any game you want whenever on your phone, and I can cast it. I don't know how it's legal.
Nice. Well,
because the Bengals are not local for me, so when the Bengals games are on, I have to get creative.
The NFL has the dumbest rules. Robbie, who you picking?
UConn. I can't take UMass over. I don't have any reason. UMass is UMass, and no, thank you.
I just hear about how bad both teams are, so I said we had to pick the game.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst game of the day. So I wonder what ticket prices are for this one.
$20, it says.
That's insane.
But we're not to game day yet. They'll probably drop to 50 cents before the game starts, just like they did for the Vandy game last week.
I'll give you a quarter.
You'd have to pay me $20 to go to that. And pay for my transportation at that.
Yeah.
All right.
There's also another bad game. We're not picking it, but Akron plays Bowling Green, and Bowling Green's the favorite by 14 points. So that shows how bad Akron is. But game's at ESPN Plus. You can get a ticket to that one for $14 time. You can just drive up to Drive right up to Bowling Green. That's not too far.
Drive right up 75. It's only a couple hours.
Just past
All right.
Finley.
That's right. And I mean, hey, Bowling Green sank the boat, so I wouldn't sleep
So,
on the Falcons. And Brian McGorder's not there anymore.
That's true. All right, Ty. We need your lock of the week, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's your lock of the week here, so we know who to bet against.
I forgot about that. Michigan minus 3.5 at Nebraska. Nebraska looks better. They just beat the piss out of Northwestern, but I think Michigan's really good, and they're going to win by more than 3.5.
And nothing bad about Northwestern here, but how often does Northwestern have 2 first-round draft picks, and how much does that impact their football team? Because Slater and Newsom were kind of their best players by a mile and a half.
Yeah.
I don't know what Northwestern's got this year. I think they're bad. But, yeah, I agree. Michigan's going to kill them. Scott Frost has got nothing going.
Super Dogs. I need them.
Oh, did you already both give your locks? Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I had Iowa in the picks, and he had Oklahoma.
I had Oklahoma minus 3.
Well, I'll go first on dogs then. Stanford is getting 11.5 at Arizona State.
Yeah, that seems good to me.
I think that's a lot of points. We're echoing.
Yeah, why are we echoing?
I don't know. Are you still echoing?
Yeah.
I can't hear an echo, so it's probably my fault.
Yeah, you're not echoing.
Yeah. I think Robbie and I are echoing.
Hold on. How about
Now he's muted.
And I'm not echoing, am I?
No, you're not echoing, and I'm not either.
Uh-oh. KB, what'd you do, buddy?
You're still muted, but
Unmute, see what happens.
Robbie? Who's your super dog?
my super dog was South Carolina. Yep, that's a good way to do it. South Carolina against Tennessee team that's coming off a big win against Missouri. I think they fall off this week and give one up. So
What was that spread? Was that just
I think it was like 11.5.
11.5? That's what I thought.
11.5 spreads. Nice.
My super dog is plus 10. Does Brett Bielema playing his old school Wisconsin? Wisconsin's got to go to Illinois. Robbie, you said Mertz is hurt. The guy behind him isn't any good either. So I'm going to go Wisconsin drops 3 in a row. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. But they're not going to cover the 10 points in Champaign. So give me the Illini plus the 10 points in that one.
I could be wrong.
I think the Illini do beat them, man. I do think
I could be wrong. I think the last time Wisconsin went to Illinois, the Lovie Smith-led Illini won on a field goal, and I think they eliminated pretty much Wisconsin from the playoff talk. Scott Cohn-led Wisconsin team.
That wouldn't surprise me. I don't know.
Like it again. I'll take the 2 points on the super dog if Illinois can win that game.
Bet
So
with Brett. I did it week 0, and it worked out for me. That's the last time I bet with him, though.
So for all our listeners out there, you can go ahead and you can take Nebraska money line. Ty's got Michigan.
Let's get that Michigan. Get that Michigan cover. I mean, they're going to win by.
Yeah, I think Tidy gets his lock right this week, but we'll see.
Yeah, although I thought Purdue was a lock of a lock, and the boat came back out of the water after sinking, and God, maybe I just like betting against them because they're so annoying. But
You don't like PJ. That's the problem.
yeah.
Yeah, you do not like PJ Fleck. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Well, Robbie, take us away, man.
All right. I was just going to mention this week, go ahead and give us a follow at Golden Domer Home on Twitter and at Golden Domer Homers on Instagram. Other than that, I got not much else to say. Hopefully the Irish play better this week, and we got to beat Virginia Tech. Go Irish.
Beat Hokies.
Have a good week. We'll see you next.
Exit Sandman.